What's been very fascinating to me about the Adelson case is Wendi Adelson. She is still out there. She's free. She's never been charged with anything. And I do genuinely wonder how much she knew, or if it was, I have a feeling my family may be capable of this. I don't genuinely know any plans, but I know who my family is. Let's take a look at some of her testimony when talking about the control of her mother.
It reads, however, the rest of your life and consequently Dad's, mine, and yes, even Charlie's will be affected by how well you can perform/act before July 31st. You need to be a good actress or you can be a good actress when you want to. I've seen you in action. You need to put on the performance of your life. Jibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. Who's Jibbers?
Jibbers, she's referring to Danny.
So in this, again, your mom is referencing how everyone's life is being affected by this relocation, including your brother, Charlie. Do you agree with that?
That is what she said, yes.
All right. Is your mom overprotective of you?
Yes.
All right. And is it fair to say she's, a little on the controlling side?
I don't think she's controlling, but she's definitely overprotective.
I don't think she knows what controlling means because I think it's been such a norm.
I think she's trying not to get her mom's bad side by saying that too.
True. But I don't know that Wendi understands the gravity of the situation and the family that she came from because it was normal her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And until you really kind of get a grasp outside of that and walk away, can you have perspective and to go, oh, this isn't normal. This isn't healthy behavior because that's all you know. And I do genuinely wonder. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, she needs to go down too. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much she genuinely knew other than I know my family is, they get what they want, basically.
Yeah. I mean, no one can be found guilty and go to jail because you're the daughter of someone.
Mm-hmm.
So in all cases, you go where the evidence leads. And if no evidence is leading to her, then no evidence leads to her. I mean, it's her responses seem pretty congruent. They seem pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Her tempo was on point. And it seems like they've done a good job in this investigation, especially since they have, a lot of people talking, some key witnesses are talking. And if no one's involving her yet, because I guarantee, I don't guarantee, I'd be really suspect if they weren't trying to make her part of this. In other words, that the prosecution wasn't trying to get her because they're going to try to get everyone they possibly can.
Yeah.
If they haven't charged her with anything yet, it means there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I always lean to try to have faith in the prosecution and have faith in the system where if there's data there that can involve someone, they're going to try to get them with something.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not seeing it. So my thought right now is that they actually tried to isolate and protect her.
You got to assume, I mean, that they've gone through everything, all the evidence that they possibly can by this point. And I mean, it's not very common that we see the brother going down, the mother going down, but the actual partner of the victim, that's usually the first one that goes down. And she's not at all. So yeah, it does seem like, this family unit that very much is there to protect one another to a very toxic degree.
So think about this again. You can do your own little thought experiment in your head, and we've seen this. If we'll use like a movie analogy
Mhm.
kind of here, and we've seen it in these types of movies where you have a really, really tight, I wouldn't say toxic, but really super tight immediate family.
Yeah.
And when you have the daughter, the little girl is something that everyone rallies around and protects this little girl, and she goes off and gets married, and all of a sudden, someone in her life does her wrong.
Hmm.
What are they going to do? They're gonna take their little girl and they're gonna put her on a side and they're gonna protect her as everyone goes beats up the guy that
Hmm.
that wronged their daughter, and they said, "Honey, don't worry about it. We're putting you over here. Don't even look at this. We're gonna take care of this for you."
Yeah.
Kind of, and we're seeing the mentality play out.
It's an enmeshed family. I mean, there's a lot of enmeshment here, and what that basically means is, family members that are emotionally reactive to one another, to unhealthy levels, unhealthy bonds, uh, and it makes it strong bonds because they are there for each other, but their behavior is extremely unhealthy. This
You
is,
know,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I say and it's a this is one of those cases that it's a real shame. I mean, it's beyond shame. It's tragic because here you have a potentially great example of a tight family relationship.
Hmm.
Where people are looking out for each other. People are doing things for each other. People care very deeply about each other. Who the hell put the idea that murder was a way to solve a problem?
Hmm.
I mean, so that's where it really comes down to who's the one. That's where I think all things start starting to get linear towards potentially Donna on this one.
Yeah.
But who takes it to that extreme? And so, what's that life arc? Who put the idea that problem solving is that way? I mean, there's a lot of ways to solve this problem, and to go to murder because you care so hard about your family, it's just nuts.
It is. It is. Let's take a look. This is Wendy on the phone in the interrogation room. She just found out that Dan was not going to make it, and she makes a phone call to her mom. This is the portion of that where she is calling mom. Let's take a listen.
Hi, Mom. How's it going? Mom, I need you to sit down. I am fine. The boys are fine. I need you to sit down. I'm fine, and the boys are fine. Danny has been. You can put me on speaker. Yeah. Danny has been shot. And I don't think he's gonna make it. And so I know. So I found this out around 1 or 2 today, and I'm at the police station, and I'm trying to help them figure out who may have done this.
It's a weird call. There's a weird level of calm on the part of Wendy. I feel in that. I mean, initially, the other part of the video, she does seem genuinely shocked and hurt, but now, just 5 minutes in after that, she finds this out. She's like, it's like we're gonna order DoorDash. Would you like Taco Bell today? Or it almost seems to have that sort of volume to it.
So to me, there's realism to it
Mhm.
because the first thing for anyone that's been through having to let a family member know that another family member has been killed
Mhm.
or died, the first thing you let them know is that, hey, here's the people that are okay.
Yeah,
So you're not going to jump to so that was very congruent, I thought, with her being unaware of anything and that being very real in the moment. There's potentially, the any emotional disconnect we're seeing where it's not over the top is because, well, they're not together.
sure.
But what I found also interesting, so I found that struck me as being pretty congruent with reality and it being true from her,
Mhm.
the way she started breaking the news. What was interesting to me was the mother's reaction. She was just blathering. So, I mean, think about this. Now you reverse it on her. If someone sits you down or someone calls you on your phone, and the first things you hear is first before I start telling you, I want to let you know so and so's okay and so and so's okay. What are you now doing? You're now bracing. I'm going to about to get really, really bad news. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to pay attention. And what's her mother do? Blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
So she's either knew it was going to happen, didn't care it was going to happen, or it's all about her. So it was a really interesting reaction the mother was having when her daughter is about to drop some sort of bomb on her and she's just kind of trying to brush it aside and the daughter had to keep insisting, no, listen, listen. So it was interesting.
Yeah, almost reminded me of like Peanuts cartoons, like
Yeah.
because that's really what it really. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the Donna trying to control the narrative of I think everything of her life,
and
of her
and
kids,
and,
of
and, s-
everything.
and potentially again, you can't draw this conclusion because it's just a behavioral observation, but the only time someone would say I don't care what you're about to say is when they know what you're about to say.
True.
Because I mean, think about it. This is where I love doing these thought experiments. This is where this deep empathy comes from. Deep empathy is not being compassionate. That's empathy plus action. Empathy is understanding the world through someone else's point of view. So put yourself in that situation. Your child is calling you and telling you, "Mom, before I start saying, I just want to let you know that I'm okay and all these people are okay." You're receiving this information. What's your reaction going to be? Oh my God, what's about to gonna happen? Okay,
Wyatt,
go ahead.
tell me.
Quiet.
Yeah.
And what did she do? She totally brushed her off
Yeah.
as if she either knew the information, didn't care about the information, or had something she thought was more important to share than you're about to learn someone died.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I found very interesting.
That is very, very interesting behavior. It could be interesting to see what happens here in this trial as Donna faces the music in the coming months. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.